fans are pushing Venom: The Last Dance toward that $500 million mark. Movie man Erik, Childress, the founder of the Movie Madness podcast, brings us all of the on-screen action. Erik, Venom is a 3-time winner at the box office.
It is now over $400 million worldwide and has a very good shot at hitting $500 million thanks to a strong international showing. Now, more interesting that this was actually the first time since 1989's Look Who's Talking that an October release took the #1 spot at the box office for the first 2 weeks of November, a sign of how certain studios have mismanaged their schedule. Now, as for the new films, Heretic, which I still highly recommend, did fine with $11 million, likely going to take the critics to help push Hugh Grant towards an Oscar nomination for that one, but it was a very close race with The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, which finished third with $10.7 million. The family-oriented Christmas film based on the beloved book from the 1970s found its audience giving Lionsgate its first $10 million plus opening since The Strangers this summer, and its first $5 million plus opening since Borderlands at the end of August.
Let's stop and take a look at The Best Christmas Pageant Ever.
The pageant is an especially big deal this year. It's the 75th anniversary.
I want to give special mention to Grace for volunteering to direct it.
You did what?
Oh no. Did somebody die?
It's worse than that, son.
It's going to be the best Christmas pageant ever.
This weekend, another film studio hopes to slay the box office with Red One, starring Dwayne Johnson.
I'm sure these are numbers being watched very closely by Dwayne Johnson's people, as his brand and star power has taken a bit of a hit with his past few projects and his reactions to the failure of Black Adam. But he is back as Santa's bodyguard, who goes on a mission to rescue him when he is kidnapped alongside a petty thief played by Chris Evans. Now, for some time, I have heard colleagues and others comment how they could not even believe that this was getting a theatrical release because of how the whole project looked and felt like one of the many straight-to-streaming projects on Netflix, Apple, or Amazon that actors such as Johnson and Evans have supplemented their resumes with. This is, in fact, an Amazon MGM release, so the thought wasn't completely far-fetched. But this is going to need a whole lot of support from audiences knowing this is in theaters, because the budget is reportedly somewhere in the $200 to $250 million range. Other successes were achieved from much smaller budgets, relatively, but this one could end up with a big chunk of coal in Amazon's admittedly very deep stockings.
Let's keep the Christmas theme going. Erik, do you have some picks on your movie stars list?
I absolutely do, Angie. And of course, I always try to throw out titles that are available at no extra cost to subscribers of various streaming services at home. But in general, I could always recommend Die Hard or Lethal Weapon or anything with Shane Black's name on it, frankly. But I have a title available now on the Peacock service that I bet many have overlooked. It's called Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale, and it is as much of a horror film along with tinges of action and comedy. Plus, it also features Santa. But maybe not the Santa you're expecting, as an old man is unearthed from the ice in Finland, and havoc ensues amongst the research team and some local boys. I don't want to spoil the surprises in store for you, and while this might not entirely be for all ages, it does have the kind of anarchic chaos, humor, and violence of some of the best of Joe Dante's films, and would certainly make a fun choice for older kids who dig Gremlins. I'm thrilled this is available on Peacock right now, and it makes for a great alternative for the upcoming holiday season if sing-alongs and huggy feelings get to be a little too much.
And when all else fails, there's always Hallmark. Thank you, Erik.
Thank you, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.